Hey there everyone, I'm back again, and today I'm bringing you a message kind of a little bit on the back end of yesterday's message, because I actually had a bunch of you reaching out to me, and it was starting a really cool conversation that I wanted to have on a deeper level with you guys. But basically yesterday what I shared with you was an experience that I had with one of my coaches bursting my idealistic bubble, all right? And so I explained and spoke into that for you guys, and it was really interesting because I had a bunch of different people, reach out to me and say, oh my gosh, good on you for, breaking through that and blah, 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 or whatever. And then I had another couple of people who reached out to me and they were like, no, that's not good coaching, right? Like people were saying that's not good, that somebody was like bursting your bubble. Like we need to be idealistic and we need to be able to dream big and all this sort of stuff. And so I felt called to maybe share on a little bit of a deeper level for you guys, to explain a little bit more about this, which might contribute a little bit better to your understanding of my experience of it. So because everybody's got their own perspective, and I can see all those perspectives, and actually everybody's subjectively right? There's no just one objective truth. There's different contexts, there's different experiences, there's different people who need to be coached in different ways, and all the rest of it, right? There's a lot going on. But basically, what I wanted to talk into today with you guys is the fact that whatever you expect from others is what you need to learn to provide for yourself. And so reflecting back, if you guys didn't see my message yesterday, I encourage you to go check it out and then come back to this one maybe. And then see kind of what we're going through without me reiterating the entire whole story. But ultimately, I had a coach burst my idealistic bubble, and what happened for me in that experience was I was kind of shattered like during the session. And what I got to realize was it was less about the context of what he was sharing with me, and it was actually more about my unconscious expectation as to what I thought I needed from my coach in that moment. And I wasn't consciously going into the experience knowing that. It took that experience to wake me up to a way deeper truth. So what happened was, when my coach didn't give me the response that I was after, for example, that was for me in that situation, he wasn't showering me with, with praise and being proud of me for how I'd been able to navigate a difficult situation. He instead, criticized a little bit and just focused on the other side, right? It kind of balanced out because I was seeing all good and blah, blah, blah. But it was less about that circumstance, and it was actually more about me in that moment not getting what I perceived I needed, right? I was shattered because, this person that I respect and get coaching from, and, he just wasn't giving me that what I felt I needed, which was in a vulnerable state. I felt like my coach wasn't being proud of me, and I felt like that's what I needed. And so that's why it shattered me so much. But throughout the session, I was able to come back and see the other side and see the elements of truth in what he was sharing with me. And deeper than that, though, it's much deeper than just bursting an idealistic bubble. What it really is, that's one layer of it. The next layer of what it unlocked for me was pretty profound, right? Because I was able to, at first it felt personal, right? And I felt really devastated, and I did revert into just that 5-year-old Vanessa, feeling totally hurt and vulnerable. Haven't seen her for a number of years, right? And what happened was, based upon my reflection of the circumstances and taking that time to just process, I actually made a much, much, much deeper truth come to the surface. And it had me actually bawling my eyes out when I got into bed that night. Like a deep bawling of my eyes, right? Like it was just like a deep pain that it actually unlocked and released. And what that actually was a realization that I've been going around my life trying to get a need fulfilled, which was I felt like I needed him to be proud of me, or in particular, it unlocked a truth that I needed the men in my life to be proud of me. All because as a little girl, and I'm not placing any blame at all here, and I'm not doing any attacks and all this sort of stuff, but this is for me as a subjective experience. I didn't feel like I got that need met from my own father. I didn't feel like he actively gave me a sense that he was proud of me. And, I'm getting emotional just talking into it, because this is part of the big, massive work that I'm doing right now to move past and be able to get beyond, so that I can shift gears from a needy attachment to my external world to fulfill this void that I've completely unconscious to, that I developed as a little kid, probably. I don't know at what age. I feel like I could actually pinpoint that, but I'd be here all day with you guys, and I just want you to get the golden nuggets from this. But basically, we've all got these needy attachments on how other people need to show up for us in order for us to be okay. And what happens is, when we are in that needy attachment, mine was to have this man that I respect in my life who's giving me guidance and support. I needed him to be proud of me, but it wasn't really about him. It was much more about this unmet need that I've been carrying around my whole life, and needily projecting attachment onto other males in my life, needing them to be proud of me, and I wasn't even consciously aware of it. And if my coach didn't show that to me, I wouldn't have woken up to it. So you've got your own, and I've got probably many more that I'm still unconscious to, right? But that needy attachment that we have on other people to show up in a certain way for us to be okay is actually the work that you need to do. All right. So what do I mean by that? Right? When we go out into the world with any sort of needy attachment, what actually happens is we end up repelling the circumstances and the people around us from ever giving us what we say that we need from them. And it's actually here to serve you. Because if everybody just met all your needy attachments, you'd never be inspired to grow beyond them, to develop a better relationship with yourself where you own that within you. So you're not needily attached to anybody else, to give that to you. You're actually being able to provide that for yourself. And the funny thing is, the paradoxical thing is that once you actually develop and fulfill that need from within yourself, and I'm saying that it's not easy, right? And it takes time, and I'm on that journey right now of being more proud of myself, and it's just another layer of the onion for myself, but when we actually get to the place where we are providing those needs for ourselves, that's actually when we attract the outside world to actually then mirror that back to us. It's at the point where we actually no longer need it, right? We've shifted gears from a needy attachment to actually a non-attached gratitude, right? And that is where your power lays, right? You're not going to feel a sense of empowerment in your life when you have those needy attachments. And I'm so grateful that I have a coach in my life who is willing to do the tough stuff with love. He's willing to call me out. He's willing to not give me not meet the need of my needy attachment, so that I have an opportunity to build awareness around, whoa, what am I expecting from others here? Why did that trigger and create so much emotion for me? So that I can build awareness around where that's coming from, and I can do the work to provide that for myself, so that then when I go out into the outside world, I'm attracting people who are mirroring that back to me. And remember, it's always happening for a reason that serves you, okay? Because like I said earlier, If people met your needy attachments, you'd never be inspired to grow, develop, evolve, right? You'd just always be reliant on your external world to feel okay. And that's not healthy. That sets you up to not be authentic. It sets you up to live to the expectations of others rather than live a life true to yourself. It sets you up for disaster and unfulfillment, right? So you really need to realize that those people outside of you, whoever they are, those challenges out there, maybe you might, have some experiences where they're kind of, I heard this concept the other day from listening to some of Catherine Woodward Thomas's work on conscious uncoupling. Sometimes that person who's not giving you what you need, they're a bit of your dark guru, right? Who woke you up. And that's actually what you need to do, is see the good in that and take the value from that and not get stuck in your own personal hurts. You can be there for a little bit, that's okay, but look at where that's coming from. Don't play the victim. Don't be the victim in your life. Be the victim for 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes to be the victim, and then actually look deeper than that. Take the personal element out of it and then look at where that's really coming from, right? And when you do that, you set yourself up to win on a whole new level. So whatever you expect from others, is what you need to learn to provide for yourself. And I really, really hope that this message has served you. As always, I've started F45. I hope this message is serving you. I'm about to run out the door, but before I do, I'm going to check in with you guys. And just to let you know, as you guys know, and I mentioned yesterday, I injured my hand. It was actually, I said 2 months yesterday. It was actually 3 months ago. It was at the beginning of December. Can't believe it's been that long, which actually took me out of any of my training and any of my F45 stuff, which I was absolutely loving. And I'm really grateful I got back in there yesterday, and I was a bit terrified, to be honest, because my hand healed with a bit of a step in it. So it still doesn't feel quite right, but I went through the whole session. It actually felt like it healed it and helped it. So just a secondary little, lesson in today's message is to move toward your fears. Don't just sit back and just be so worried that you never move forward. I could have got back into F45 probably a week ago, but I just was a little bit worried and scared. And turns out when I took that step forward and took that, next, faced my fears a little bit, turns out it was the best thing I could have done. And so just wanted to share that with you guys as well. All right, I definitely want to check in with you guys. Let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. Have you got any questions or comments or words of wisdom, or you just want to say hi? I absolutely love getting to connect with you guys, as you know. So I have got DB and Shane and Ulas and Zena, and good morning to you from Utah, one of the best places in the world. Thanks, DB. And Frank's here as well, and much love to you, Justin and Daryl. I love it. Jim Rohn quote today: attitude determines choice, and choice determines results. Abso-freaking-lutely. Get beyond, I was going to deliver this totally different message for you guys today, but I might keep it up my sleeve. But it's very much in aligned with what you're sharing from the amazing, the incredible Jim Rohn there, Daryl. But absolutely, finding the good, instead of, focusing on being the victim, notice that you're the creator of your life. And when you get hit by a challenge, that's your key. That's your opportunity you have two pathways you could take. You could be the victim, or you can be the creator of your life. You can take the elements of truth that are you're being hit with, and you cannot stay stuck and victimized. You actually step into a new level of empowerment, and it takes just taking that little personal element out and taking a meta perspective on what's really going on under the surface, giving yourself permission to be compassionate with yourself and discover a deeper truth, because it's always there when you step out, you take off the victim hat, and you ultimately step into your greatness in that realm. So I love that, Daryl. Thanks for sharing. Paulie's here as well, and Mike and DB. You won't be yourself 100%. Yeah, totally. You've got to get to a point where you're no longer needily attached to anybody externally from you to show up a certain way for you to be okay. You've got to take the onus back for yourself and decide that whatever you're expecting from others is what you're needily attached to, and what you need to do is go about a journey of providing that for yourself so that you can switch and transform that needy attachment to a non-attached gratitude. And part of the process of what I'm doing right now is I'm meditating in the mornings, and I'm doing a meditation right now that's just a short 15-minute meditation that's really about self-reflection and allowing, more realizations to come up to the surface. And I'm doing that in conjunction with then writing in a journal straight up. It's just common basic stuff in personal development, right? And what I'm doing in that journal is I'm showering myself with the things that I'm proud of myself for, because that's the muscle that I need to build for myself so that I can be in non-attached gratitude when other people are proud of me rather than needing them to be. So hope that serves you, and thank you for your comment there, DB. And Patty is here as well, and Idelid, self-awareness makes you glow as a diamond. Oh, absolutely, and thank you for those kind words, Idelid. I appreciate you showing up again, always good to see you. And Patty, be the victim for 5 minutes, love it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we don't need to go in there, and actually studies and science prove that when we allow ourselves to experience whatever we're experiencing full throttle, and that emotion, that, whatever you're feeling in that helplessness of being a victim or whatever you're experiencing, it only takes 8 minutes for you to fully feel through the highest level of rage, right? So just realize that and understand that. And yeah, I love that you're loving that part. Just be the victim for 5 minutes. You can have that. But then get on with being the creator and see the deeper meaning and the power that's available to you. So I love that, Patty. Thanks for showing up. And Zena, I'm loving that you're finding some good stuff here. Awesome to see you again. And DB, that's good on your hand. I'm glad. Just be safe for sure. Thank you so much, DB. Yeah, I have a tendency to go a little full throttle when I get in the gym. So yeah, I was trying to be as safe as possible, and I'll continue. Thank you for that advice, DB. And Justin's here, and Mark, and awesome, Justin, thank you. I'm grateful that this was amazing for you. And Matthew's here, and Rachel and Colin, hello to you, and awesome, thanks for the love, Justin. And Matthew, I hope you're doing amazingly well. Can't wait to see you Sunday. Exciting for all those of you who are in group coaching, and for those of you who aren't in group coaching or part of the Limitless Potential Academy and you'll want to be, reach out to me. I'll send you over the details and the options available and how you can join our amazing team so that you can get the guidance, the support, and the challenge that you require to get to your next level of your potential and develop a life of real meaning. So reach out to me for that. But really hope today's message has served you. All of you guys who are just joining me now, hope you catch the recording, get a ton of value from today's message. If you have found this valuable, please do share it for me. I really appreciate when you guys do that. Always touches my heart to know that you've got enough value to be able to share it with other people. So awesome, awesome, awesome. And as always, I'm sending you guys all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you to wherever you are in the world today. I really do hope that it's beautiful, amazing, and extraordinary, that you're doing something super empowering, and today's message has definitely served you. Super grateful to each and every one of you guys for joining me live today. Always appreciate when you join in the conversation. And for those of you who've also been reaching out to me about what time do you do your lives, I'm going to kind of stick to this time for a little bit as I'm getting back into F45. So hope to see many more of you guys live and connecting with the conversation. All right, sending you guys all of my love, and I will see you tomorrow.